Hi guys. I'm just gonna wait a little bit and make sure everybody gets on here. Let me just brighten up my camera here. So I'm just gonna wait for some people to pop on. So what I'm gonna do is just give you guys a couple more minutes. I'm going to let some people pop on. I thought it'd be fun to do a live, do a card today, a project. So I'm hoping to do this every week, but like I said, I'm just gonna wait and let some people hop on here live. And I noticed that I am the wrong way. Let's see. So I'm just going to work on a project every Tuesday morning at 10 o'clock. I'm going to pop on here live and we'll do either a card or maybe a 3D project, something. And it'll be a fun little thing to do. So I'm just going to give it a couple more seconds to see if I get anybody jumping on. And if you guys want to ask me questions and let me know, what you think of what we're doing today. So I'm going to kind of keep it with my product of the week. So the stamp set today will be Pleasant Pheasants that we're going to be using. So this stamp set's nice for the fall. You've got your happy Thanksgiving and your sentiment there. And you've got these nice little fall type items that you can use. It doesn't have to be for Thanksgiving. You can use it now. So I'm going to show you a card we're going to work with. I think I'll give it another couple of seconds and see. I don't have anybody on here yet, but that's okay. You guys go ahead and share this with your family and friends. For every share that I get, I'll put you into a drawing and I'll pick out a winner and you'll get a little something from me in the mail just for sharing. So let's go ahead and get started. This card here is going to require a couple of sheets of cardstock. So I'm going to use Early Expresso as the card base. Let me just see how this looks in my camera view here on live. Let's see. Okay, that looks good. So we're going to use our Early Expresso as the card base. So it's going to be A2 size. Most crafters know what A2 size is, but if you're new here, A2 size is just 5.5 by 4 1/4. So you want to cut this is a piece of 8.5 by 11 cardstock. You cut it down the middle and you can get 2 cardstocks or 2 card bases with it. So it measures out 5.5 by 8.5 and you fold at 4 1/4. So then you're going to need a piece of, actually you're going to need 2 pieces of crumb cake. One is to layer inside, and this piece here is just cut at 4 1/4 by, or I'm sorry, 5 1/4 by 4. And then you're also going to need a scrap piece to stamp on, and we're going to trim that down once we stamp on it. You will also need a piece of old olive. This one here is cut at the same size, 5 1/4 by 4. And then just a piece of the old olive, or I'm sorry, Mossy Meadow. Just want a piece of Mossy Meadow. And this one is just going to be a scrap piece. It's just going to frame up this piece once we cut it. So I'm going to go ahead and get started with our stamping first. So I'm going to use our scrap piece of the crumb cake to do our stamping on. So with this stamp set, the stamp I'm going to use is the wheelbarrow with the pumpkins in there. So I'm just going to stamp that with Crumb Cake ink on top of your Crumb Cake cardstock. So I just inked up my ink pads. I just put some refill ink on them yesterday, so it's going to be a little juicy. So I'm just going to stamp this. Yesterday my ink was very light on the card that I made. This one's a bit darker. So with this, before we do anything, before we cut it or anything like that, we're going to go ahead and color it. So I'm using 3 colors today. I'm going to use the Stampin' Up markers. We have Granny Apple Green, Pumpkin Pie, and Old Olive. So the Pumpkin Pie and the Granny Apple Green is going to be used on the pumpkin. So I'm just going to take the brush part. You have 2 tips here to the markers. One's more of a brush, one's more of a writing tip. So I'm just going to take the brush part and I'm going to just do the stems of these 2 pumpkins here. And then with your pumpkin pie, I'm going to take the brush part and I'm just going to color in these pumpkins here. You could use your Stampin' Blends if you have them also, or if you do not have the markers or the Stampin' Blends, you can always take your ink pad and you can use that to color too. You could use the aqua painters, or you can use the oh, I can't think of what they're called, the blender pens. Being that this is stamped with Crumb Cake, if you use the aqua painters, you're probably going to get a smear of the Crumb Cake. Same thing with the blenders. I think the blenders will be a little less of a smear, but I think it's still going to smear your Crumb Cake ink that you use to stamp out these pumpkins. So what I did was on the tip here that you write on, I'm just going to kind of draw in some of these lines to make them a little darker on the pumpkins, just to give it a little bit more texture. So, and then for your grass down here, this is where I've used the Old Olive. So we're just going to go ahead and use the tip here, the pen type tip, just to kind of go over the grass. I'm just going to go, I'm not going to color, I'm just going to kind of make the go over the lines of here. You don't have to go perfect, just kind of go on top just to give it that grass, color of grass in there. And that's all that I'm doing for coloring. You could color a little bit more on here if you wanted to. But that's all that I'm doing. So what I'm going to do is take out the paper trimmer, and I'm just going to trim this up. So I'm not trimming, I'm not measuring or anything. I'm just going to kind of line it up, trim along the bottom. Trim close to the top. and then I'll just trim off the sides just real close. And then before we put our trimmer away, we're gonna go ahead and take our, where did I put it? Our Mossy Meadow. Oh, here it is. So the Mossy Meadow, what I did was I just took a little bit of snail adhesive. Actually, I'm gonna snail the whole thing. And I kind of lined it up here, gave it a little bit of a border, and then I'll just use my trimmer to trim it up. It doesn't have to be perfect. So you get a little bit of a frame around that, and then you can always, if you don't press down too hard, you could always take that up, but I pressed down a little too hard. But that's all right, I like that border there. So we can put our trimmer away because we are done with that. So let's see, do you guys have any questions or anything for me as we're moving along here? No questions? All right, so let's keep moving with our card. So now with our stamping, we're going to do one more thing of stamping right now, and then that'll be it for our stamping. So your old olive that we have cut here, I'm going to use the Stamparatus. You don't have to use the Stamparatus. You can use your blocks and just kind of eyeball it. I have the Stamparatus. I use it a lot, and it's great for this so that you can get your even lines and stuff. So with your Stamparatus, it comes with two plates. I'm only going to use one. I'm going to kind of center my card closer towards the edge here, because we're going to take, in this stamp set, there's this leaf stamp right here. If you can see that without the glare on there. We're going to take that stamp, and it's going to border around, ooh, did I lose you guys? Sorry about that, guys. It's going to border around the green here. So I'm just going to tack this down here in the corner, and we're going to use Versamark ink. Let me see, I'll straighten you guys out a little bit more. My leg of my tripod just came out a little. Let me just fix that. Sorry about that, guys. All right, so you're gonna take your cardstock, like I said. You're gonna use your magnet and just anchor it down on one of the corners, whichever corner you're not stamping on first. I'm only using one magnet. You can use two, but I feel that one magnet is fine. So here's your little border stamp. So I'm going to start over here. I'm going to go off a little of the edge here, and just make sure you're on, just like that. And then I'm going to take the Versamark ink and just ink that up. The two sizes of my paper, hi Julie, they are, which ones? The old olive that I'm using is 4 by 5 1/4. These two pieces here, I kind of just eyeballed them. I stamped on here. I did my trimming on my crumb cake, and then I put the Mossy Meadow down and kind of just eyeballed it with my trimmer. So these, I don't really have a measurement for this, but when I'm done here, I can measure if you'd like. Let me see if I can. The Mossy Meadow is about 3 inches by 2 inches. So the crumb cake would be, I would just take a quarter less from that. So I do 2 3/4 by 1 3/4 for the crumb cake. This guy here, like I said, this one is 5 1/4 by 4. So what I'm going to do is, you have your Versamark with your leaf there. Then I'm just going to take this off. And the reason why I want it really close to the edge here is because I don't want this to overlap here. So I'm just going to kind of line this up again. And then pick it up with the plate. I like the Stamparatus because it's simple, it's easy. You don't have to really think about measuring. You just kind of lay it down and it measures itself. When you do your blocks, you know, you kind of have to eyeball it, and if it's on there crooked. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take off my bottom magnet here, and I'm going to put this up here in the top corner, and I'm going to take my leaf stamp, and I'm just going to do the same thing. I have it overhanging a little so it kind of runs off the edge here. I'm going to pick it up and put some more Versamark ink. And then once my video is all done, I will also leave the measurements in the description of the video. So if you guys want to make this card later, feel free. And then we're just going to do the same process here. We're going to pick up our Versamark. The Versamark ink makes such a great, no problem, Julie. Thanks for watching, by the way. I think you're my only viewer right now. The Versamark ink makes great backgrounds. I mean, and as you stamp it, it darkens. So you're going to get a light image at first, and then as the card sets and the Versamark ink sets, you're going to get that darker image. So I like using the Versamark. So now what I'm going to do is just kind of lay this right in between these two on the edge here. Make sure that I'm not over my card. If anybody who follows me knows, I love to emboss. I don't know, I just love embossing. I used to cringe at embossing. I bought embossing powders here or there, you know, at the craft stores, wherever, and I never seemed to have gotten a good image with it. It was always blurry. The embossing powder went all over the place, and I did not like embossing at all. And when I signed up to be a Stampin' Up demonstrator 2 years ago, there was a Stampin' Up embossing buddy, and there is the embossing powder. So I thought I'd give that a try. Oh my goodness, I fell in love with that. I don't know if I was just buying old embossing powders, if, you know, because I had some for a while, and I don't know if they go bad or not, but they weren't working, and the embossing buddy made a huge difference whenever I use that. I use that all the time now, and my embossing ink or my powders don't stick. So I do love the embossing buddy. So now we're done with our stamping. So we're just gonna put our Stamparatus away. So now we're gonna find our Early Expresso. Again, this one is our A2 size, so I'm just gonna fold it in half. I'm just gonna use the bone folder to kind of give that a nice crease. And then I'm using snail adhesive, and I'm going to anchor down my old olive on the front here. This could be a nice birthday card too for, you know, for any of them guys out there that need a birthday card. And then I'm gonna also just anchor down my crumb cake on the inside here. So I don't know if any of you guys are aware of my special I'm running. I'm running it through the end of September, and it's the Dashing Along DSP. Right now, Stampin' Up is actually running a special. If you host a party, and it's, I think it's $250 or more, you will get a free pack of the 12x12 Dashing Along paper. I'm giving away a sample of that with every $50 purchase when you use my host code this month. So I'll leave that information in the video description, but let me see if I can find that Dashing Along paper. I should have had it ready, right? It's really pretty. I think this is it. Yes. So this is the Dashing Along Designer Series paper. It's great for the holidays that are coming up. So you'll get this free with a $250 party through Stampin' Up. If you want information on that, just let me know. And like I said, I'm giving away a free sample of it with every $50 purchase. So, all right, let's get back to our card. So the card here, so we've got the inside, we've got the outside here. So then our next step is going to be, I'm using the chicken wire element paper. I've been using this a lot. This piece here, I don't know if you can see it. It's got gorgeous grape and basic black all over it. I use this as a background technique in one of the videos I did. And if you're interested in that, it's on my YouTube channel. And I'll leave the link in the video. But it's very strong. This paper is so strong. I probably did maybe 50 to, no, probably not 50, probably 30 cards using this, and I just laid it down and just used our roller to ink it up. And it's like I said, it's very strong paper, so I really like this paper. You get 6 of them, 6 sheets, and they come with this little border around it, and you just pull the border off. So we're going to use a piece of this, and what I did was I kind of lined it up on my paper, and then I just trimmed off the excess. So I'm just going to take my paper snips. I don't know why I have this here. I don't need that there. I'm going to take my paper snips, and you'll see the little border we made. So I'm just going to kind of hold it here and then snip it up here. Doesn't have to be perfect. I think it adds to the design when you make mistakes, but nobody has to know their mistakes unless you tell them. You can always tell them it's part of the design. That's what I always do. And then I'm going to trim here. So I'm just trimming along the edge of the leaf border here. So it'll look a little something like that. And then I'm going to take my snail adhesive, and I'm just going to put it all over the back of my wagon with the pumpkins. And then I'm going to kind of center this around this, so this gives it a nice little frame, just like that. And then that's obviously not going to hold to the front of your card. It's just not. But I did that to kind of stick the paper on there. Then what I'm going to do is take some liquid mono glue, because it's strong, and I'm just going to put it on the back here. And then stick it to the front of the card. just like that. And then this part's kind of hanging out, but it's not going anywhere with that glue there. Just give it a couple of seconds to kind of tack up. And then there's your card. Isn't that cute? So this one, like I said, it could be a birthday card. It could be a Thanksgiving card. I'm not putting any sentiment on there. You can do whatever you want with it, but I like how it turned out. So I'm going to go ahead and list everything in the video, and let me know, guys, what you think. It's my first project here. I haven't done a live in a while, so thank you guys for tuning in, and I will talk to you guys on my next Facebook Live next week. We're going to do it at the same time, 10 in the morning on Tuesday. I live on the Eastern Coast, so of course it's going to be 10 o'clock my time. So I will talk to you guys later. Thanks again. I hope you guys enjoyed. Now, how do I shut you off? Okay, let me get here. See, I haven't done one of these in a while. I got to move that. All right, finish. All right, guys. I'll see you next week.